Radio 3, it's a minute after 9:30. Time for the Friday play, Alcestis by Euripides, translated by William Arrowsmith, with Alison Fisk as Alcestis and Roger Allam as Admetos.
House of Admetus, farewell. Apollo takes his leave of you, dear house, though it was here that I endured what no god should ever be compelled to bear. Here, with serfs and laborers, I ate the bread of slavery. I do not blame Admetus. The author of my shame was Zeus. He killed my son Asclepius, stabbing him through the heart with his fatal lightning, and I, in anger, retaliated. I killed the one-eyed Cyclopes because they forged for Zeus those blazing bolts in which my son died. And so, in punishment, Zeus doomed me, a god, to this duress, constraining me to be the bondslave of a death-bound man. He drove me here to this country of Thessaly, where I served as cowherd for a good and generous man, a man who is now my friend, Admetus. Until today, I guarded this house from every evil thing, loyally and well. It was I who saved Admetus from sentence of death. He was doomed to die young, but I outwitted the fates and won him a reprieve. Admetus' day of death might be deferred if someone else would volunteer to take his place below. One by one he asked them all those who were bound to him by ties of love, but no one would. His father and mother were old, and he was theirs, but even they refused. Everyone refused. All but one. His wife, Alcestis. Only she would volunteer to leave the sweet light of the sun and take his place below. She is dying now. Her women are holding her, but she is sinking in the final agony of death. This is the day, the fatal day, and she must die. And now, I take my leave of this dear house which sheltered me and which I loved. Death must not pollute my bright divinity. Look, already the god of death, the god who consecrates the dead, is here to take his victim to the world below. He has been waiting for this day with great impatience, and now death is here, punctual as always, at the appointed hour.
You here, bright one, meddling with this house again. Have you returned to violate again the dues and honors of the gods below? You cheated the fates by craft and guile. You saved Admetos from death. And now, bow in hand, unsatisfied and unappeased, you come in violence to save Alcestis too. Didn't she give her solemn word to take Admetos' place?
Don't be afraid, Death. My principles are fair, and I have reason on my side.
If you have reason on your side, then why the bow, Apollo?
The bow is my attribute and habit. Where I go, it goes.
Your habit, is it? Like your habit of always favoring this house, is that your principle?
Admetus is my friend. The troubles of those I love constrain me too.
Then you mean to take Alcestis by force?
I did not take Admetus, not by force.
Then why is he still here, among the living, when he belongs below?
He gave you his wife. You came to get Alcestis, didn't you?
I did. And she is mine, Apollo. Where I go, she goes, beneath the earth.
Take her then. No, wait, Death.
Wait? To kill those doomed to die? Don't teach me my office, Apollo.
Defer her death.
Ah, I see. Go on.
Let Alcestis grow old. Let her live. I adjure you, Death.
Never. I have my dues and honors too, Apollo. As dear to me as yours to you.
One life is all you get, young or old. What difference does it make?
Honor. The younger my victim, the more mankind fears me and respects me.
Think it over, Death. Let Alcestis die old, and her funeral will be rich. The profit is yours.
Spoken like a plutocrat, Apollo. You legislate in favor of the rich.
Amazing. This talent for quibbling, this shyster wit. It's not what we expect of Death.
The rich would buy immunity from dying.
Then you refuse my appeal.
I do. Irrevocably. You know my stubborn nature.
All too well. Men hate you for it. The gods despise you.
Even you must learn a limit, Apollo. You cannot have your way in everything you want. You will not have it now.
Death. Death, all your savagery is not enough to help you now. Today, now, a man is coming to Admetos' house. A man, I say. Man enough to break the wild stallions of Diomedes and herd them home from frozen Thrace. That man will find a welcome in this house. He will fight with you and break you, Death, and by brute strength bring Alcestis back. You shall honor my appeal against your wish. You shall not have my thanks. My hatred you shall have. You have it now.
Bluster away, Apollo. Words will get you nowhere. This woman must go beneath the earth. She is mine. With this sword, I now inaugurate my right. The head whose curls are cut by this bright blade is consecrated to the gods below. Forever.
So still. I wonder what this silence means. Why is the great house so strangely quiet? No one at the door. No servant here to say the queen has died and we must mourn her. Or is Alcestis still alive? Let her live. If bravery and love deserve the light, no woman on this earth, oh Alcestis, ever less deserved to die.
Silence. Do you hear the cry of women?
The beating of women's hands.
Or women keening with that cry that says,
Everything is over.
Nothing.
nothing.
Silence, still.
And no servant stationed at the door.
O Paean, Lord of Healing.
Great Apollo, calm this storm of sorrow.
But if the queen had died, the house would shrill with grief, the high, shrill cry of sorrow.
Dead. Dead.
She must be dead, but not yet buried.
What makes you so certain?
How could Admetos bury such a wife with no friends or mourners by? Surely he could not do it.
Not a woman like this.
Not Alcestis.
And where is the cleansing water custom prescribes for a house of death? There is no water at the door.
And no locks of hair hang in the courtyard to honor the dead.
No cry of women keening.
But this is the day decreed. Decreed.
The day of death.
Hateful word.
It hurts. It hurts.
As it must. When the good are hurt, those who love them suffer too. We love, and love hurts.
Take ship and search the world. There is no harbor, landfall, haven, hope. No oracle or pilgrimage a man might go and, going, save Our Lady's life. None. Not in Lycia, where the shining god sings to mortal men his convalescent song. Not Sahara, where at holy Ammon's healing touch the dying desert makes a miracle of green. But not for her, whose death shows cruel and sheer as crag or stone, where hope holds not, and prayer no purchase has. And God is still, and all's despair. There was one hope. Asclepius, Apollo's healing son. If he still saw the light, if he were here, he might have brought her back alive from Hades and the long black home. Such was his skill and craft. He medicined to life and saved death-tamed and broken men, redeeming all, until great Zeus, enraged with man's contriving mind, hurled the long white flash of fire in which the healer perished with his art. And now I see of hope no sign, none, nothing but despair.
all that kings might do, our king has done. Everywhere, on all the altars of the gods, the blood of sacrifice runs black. But this disease is mortal. It has no cure.
Look. A servant girl is coming out. She is crying. Now we shall know the truth. No need to hide your tears, child. If anything has happened to your mistress, your sorrow is only natural. But tell us, is Alcestis still alive?
What can I tell you? She is still alive. And dead.
What are you saying, child?
Sir, the queen is dying.
Oh, Alcestis, Alcestis. What a loss. Poor Admetos, how I pity him.
The master does not know the meaning of his loss. He will not know until it is too late.
Nothing can be done to save her.
Nothing. This is the day. Her destiny is too strong, a force she cannot fight.
Admetos
did all he could. Her women are working, preparing for the funeral. She will be buried as we knew and loved her, in this life, a queen.
In dying and living both, incomparably a queen. For courage and love, Alcestis has no rival among all women on this earth.
Rival? What would the woman be who could rival or surpass Alcestis? What woman ever loved a man so much? Loved him more than herself? So much more, she gave her life to let him live. In love, she has no equal, sir. The whole world knows it. But what she did and said, in privacy, inside, her bravery and beauty in the face of death, will touch your heart and amaze you even more. Listen. This morning, when she knew her day had come, she bathed her white body in fresh running water from the river. Then she opened the great cedar chest, took out her richest, finest things, and dressed herself in all her loveliness. Oh, sir, she was beautiful. And then she kneeled, like this, before the hearth, and prayed, "Bright goddess who guards my home, I am going to the world below. This is the last time I shall ever kneel at your feet. Lady, I pray you, protect my children and be good to them. Give my little boy a loving wife, and give my girl a kind and gentle husband. Do not let them die like me before their time has come. Let them live out their lives. Let them be happy here in the land of their fathers." Then she went from altar to altar, praying at each one, and wreathing it with sprays of fresh myrtle. Quietly, not a sound, not a cry, that sweet face of hers, composed and calm, oh, as though no evil thing could ever touch her. But there, in her room, she threw herself on the great bed, and the sobs broke from her. "Dear bed," she cried, "it was here I offered my maiden body and my love to Admetos. Now I offer him my life. Sweet bed, I love you still, even now, so much that I would rather die than live without you both. And now it is goodbye. A new woman will sleep here in my place, perhaps, not more loving, not more loyal than me, but happier, much happier, I think." There, on the bed, the children found her. Sobbing, they clung to their mother's dress, while she pulled them to her, hugging and kissing. "Goodbye. Goodbye." This is what Admetus' house has lost. What has he gained but life? If he had died, he would have lost Alcestis. Now, as matters stand, he has lost her anyway. As long as he lives, his life will have that taste of pain and loss, a bitterness that lasts.
It is a great loss. A loss whose anguish he must be suffering now.
Yes, he is crying. She can hardly breathe. But with what little breath she has, she is calling for the light. The light she'll never see again. She wants the light. The light. The light. A last look at the sun's sweet light. But, sir, I'll go and announce your presence. It isn't everyone who cares about this house or is ready to share our sorrows with us. But you have always been a good and loyal friend. And, sir, you're welcome here.
Is there no answer, Zeus? No way? Must it be disaster?
Answer our prayers, O Lord, or must we put black mourning on?
We must. We must. But first, friends, pray to the gods. Their power is great.
O King, power of healing, come. Apollo, have pity on this house. Lord, give us life as once you conquered death and let Admetus live. Now death has come to take his queen. Apollo, Lord, beat back this ruthless, savage god of death. I pity you, Admetus. How without Alcestis can you live at all?
O gods, in bitterness for this, a man might cut his throat or twist the rope around his neck and hang himself for grief in heaven's holy face.
Not for love, but something more than love. Alcestis dies for you today. Oh, Admetus.
Look, here comes the Queen Alcestis with King Admetus at her side, and her 2 children after her.
O land of fiery morn, and let the wounded earth cry sorrow. No nobler woman ever lived, and yet she goes, fading, dying, wasted, down to the world below.
Do not say that marriage has more happiness than pain. I have seen too many marriages. And now I see the torment of this house. This bravest of women dying, and a king in agony. As long as he lives, his life will taste of death. All he will have is hell.
Oh, sun, sweet shining light, white clouds, swelling, wheeling in the blue.
The god of light looks down and sees us suffering. Why? Why? How have we hurt the gods that you should die, Alcestis?
Sweet earth of Iolcus. O earth where I was born, O house that sheltered me where I was a girl in Iolcus.
Up, Alcestis. Stand. Live. Don't leave me now. Pray. The gods are strong. What they will is done. Implore the gods for pity's sake to let you, please let you live.
I see the black water and the dead lake, the boat beached on the sand, and look, Charon, there at the rudder calling me. Why are you waiting, Alcestis? It is time to leave. Hurry, Alcestis, come. Don't you hear him calling, so angry and impatient?
This is a bitter crossing. It is bitter for us both, Alcestis. Oh, gods, what have we done that we should suffer so?
No, a hand, someone, something holding me hard, forcing me down, down to the dead world. So dark. And look, those black eyes glowing, those great black wings beating over me. It is death. Death, how terribly he frowns. No, please. No, let me go. I won't. Let me go. The road is dark. I am so afraid.
For all who love you, dear, for the children and me, this is a dreadful journey. We are afraid for you, afraid for us all.
Admetus, let me down. Let me die down. I am too weak to stand. Death is closing in. My eyes are dark. Oh, children, goodbye. You have no mother anymore. I love you. The light is yours, children. Be happy in the light.
Goodbye? Oh, gods in heaven, I would rather die than hear you say that dreadful word. Oh, if you could find the strength to speak that hard and bitter word to me, then find the strength to stay. Oh, Alcestis, for our children's sake, for me, be strong, be hard, stand, fight it, live. Your dying is my death. In you we live, in you we die. By your love we pray you, live.
Admetus, I am dying. This is my last request of you, so listen well. Of my own free will I gave my life to let you live. I am dying for you, Admetus, but I did not have to die. I could have chosen otherwise. As your widow, I might have married a man in Thessaly and lived with him here and ruled this house. But without you, with these children, fatherless, I could not live. I am young, Admetus, but I have given my youth, the good years, the happy years. All the others failed you. Your father and your mother would have let you die, though they had lived good lives and reached an age when death comes naturally and right. There was glory, too, for them in giving up their lives to save their son, for they had no other sons, and no hope of any after you. They could have died for you, and you and I would still have lives to live. You would not be left alone to mourn for me, and our children would have a mother. Why? Who knows? Some god has brought these things to pass. Let it be. Now, Admetus, I want your promise. It is a little thing I ask you, nothing much. Oh, nothing like the gift of life I gave you, since that's a gift that has no price. No, a small request, but one I have a mother's right to ask, and you, I think, a father's heart to grant. Surely, you love these children, Admetus, as much as I. Oh, if you love them, make them masters in this house. Do not take a second wife and make her mistress here, where she may do our children harm, because they're mine and she is jealous. Oh, promise me, Admetus, promise me. Swear to me no woman will ever enter through that door again. A new wife hates the children of the old, hates them with a viper's poison. The boy will have his father to protect him, but you, poor girl, what will your childhood be like if your father marries a second wife? Will she be kind while you are growing up, or will she make up stories out of spite and spoil your hopes of marriage, spoil your wedding day, when I will not be there to take your side? Not be there to hold your hand and help in childbirth, when a girl most needs her mother's love and help. I will not be there. I have to die. Well, not tomorrow, not the next day, not this month, but now, in just a minute. I will not be here with you at all. Goodbye. I love you very much. Be happy. Admetus, be proud of me as you can. Children, remember your mother. Remember my example and be brave.
I will vouch for Admetus. He is a noble man. He will keep his promise.
You have my word, my solemn promise. I swear it. Oh, Alcestis, living or dead, you are my wife. I love you. I will always love you. Only you. No other woman will ever live with me again. There is no woman in this world of Thessaly by birth so noble or in looks so lovely. None. None who could ever take your place in my home and heart. Your children are ours. I want no more. I only pray the gods will let them live for me to cherish and enjoy. They are all I have of you. I will mourn you, not the customary year, but all my life. Those whose cowardice has caused your death, my father and mother, will have my hatred always. Their love was only words, a lie. You were loyal in love. You alone, Alcestis. You loved me, so you gave your life. Your only life to let me live. I know what I have lost. How much? And I will mourn you as your love and mine deserve. here and now. I banish from this house all festivity, the happiness that filled these rooms, good cheer and gaiety, the table where I sat and drank with friends, the joy of music, flowers, all of them. I banish now forever. I used to play the lute, but I will never touch its strings again. Let the flute I loved be still. Oh, Alcestis, all my joy in life is gone with you. How can I hold you here, a little of you still? Listen, I'll have an artisan of cunning skill contrive your likeness for my bed, and at night I'll lie beside it, dreaming you are there and whispering your name. Cold comfort, I know, but I have nothing else. Even seeming helps. You would come to me at night, often, in dreams, and I would have, if only for a while, the satisfaction of the love I used to have in life. In life. Oh, Alcestis, if I had the song and poetry of Orpheus, so I could charm the god of hell, bewitch his queen, and by my singing spell you back from death, I'd go beneath the ground. Nothing would stop me. Not Cerberus himself or Charon bending at his fatal oar could stop me from bringing you back to life. Wait for me below. Wait until I die. Make a house for us where we can be together. I'll have our bodies buried in a cedar coffin, side by side. In death, I will never leave your side, since only you were true in life. You stood beside me to the bitter end.
Admetos, I will stand beside you now, as friends should stand, and we will mourn your wife together. All our grief combined is less than she deserves.
Children, you have heard your father give his word. He will never make another woman welcome in this house. He will honor my memory.
I promised, and I will keep my promise. I swear it.
Then give me your hand. Now, take these children.
I do.
And love them.
I love the gift as I love the giver.
Love them as their mother loved them.
I must. I will love them as their mother would have loved them had she lived.
Oh, I should have lived, not died. My poor children.
How can I live without you?
Time will dull your grief. The dead are nothing.
Take me with you, Alcestis. For God's sake, let me die.
My dying is enough, Admetos. I am dying for you.
Stay with me. Stay.
Darkness now, so heavy. My eyes are closing.
What am I, Alcestis, without you? Nothing.
I am nothing now. The dead are nothing.
Lift your head, Alcestis. Look at your children. How can you bear to leave them?
I have to leave them. Goodbye, children.
Look at them. Look!
Ah.
What are you doing? No. No. No.
She is dead, Admetos. The queen is dead.
Oh, gods in heaven. This is beyond bearing.
It had to be, Admetos. All we can do with death is bear it patiently. Be brave. You are not the first to lose a loving wife. You will not be the last. We were born to die.
I know. Day after day I saw it coming on, those great wings, like a black shadow swooping down, and waiting, just waiting. Oh, if you knew the agony of it. But no more. I must give orders for the funeral. Good friends, I need your presence and support.
help me by remaining here. Raise a song in honor of Alcestis, and by the beauty and the power of your singing, cry defiance to this hard and bitter god whom nothing will appease but death. To my subjects, I now proclaim a period of solemn public mourning for your queen. Shear your hair in sign of sorrow. Put on mourning black. Let my cavalry and guard crop their horses' manes. Throughout this city, let the lyre be still. Let no one touch a flute until 12 moons have waxed and waned and brought the year full circle. I shall never bury anyone I loved so much, nor anyone who loved me more. Only she would take my place in death, and she shall have from me the honor she deserves.
Farewell, Alcestis. Our love goes with you now beneath the earth to your long home, among the tribes of those on whom the sweet light never shines, unseeing and unseen. We shall not see your like again. O death, in that dark tangle of your mind, if you have eyes to see, look among the herded dead who go with Charon in his long, slow crossing over Acheron. Look, and you will see, blazing in that crowd of ordinary dead, the noblest life the sunlight ever shone upon.
You shine in memory, and mortal men remembering you will praise your death, a song that does not die. Each year, unaccompanied, your song shall rise a shining on the lips of men, or sometimes chanted to the rude and simple lyre at Sparta when the year has come full circle, and the moon a splendor rides the lifelong night. Or there in Athens' blazing noon, wherever there is light, wherever men remember love, death shall not eclipse the glory of your shining.
I am weak, too weak. Oh, if the strength were mine to bring you back, I'd go below and break the stubborn grip of hell, where Charon, toiling, bends his body to the dead stroke of the sad oar, slowing, beating over Acheron. So beautiful in love, so strong and brave, you gave your life to take his place in death. For love you went below. Rest peacefully, Alcestis. Earth, lie gently on her grave, for she was gentle always.
Lady, if Admetus ever loves again, he will have your children's hate and mine. He will have it, always.
They were old, so old, his father and mother, both blanched with age, both in the winter of their years, old, so very old. But still they grudged their bodies to the grave, old cowards grasping at the light, so greedy still to live. Though he was theirs, their own, those old ones would not die. But you, Alcestis, you, in the fresh morning of your days, you gave your life and took Admetus' place below. You died for love. For such a love as yours, I would give my very life.
Unselfish love like hers is rare, so rare that I would want her at my side, alive. I would love her, always.
I give you greetings, people of Phery. So, sir, is King Admetus here?
He is, Heracles. But tell me, what business brings you to Thessaly?
Obligation, friend. I have a labor to perform. Euripides is my master. He commands, and I obey.
What is your mission, and where are you bound?
A long, hard journey. My destination's Thrace. My orders are to capture Diomedes' horses.
Diomedes' horses? It can't be done, Heracles. Surely you've heard of Diomedes?
No, nothing. I've never been in Thrace before.
Those horses are wild, They can't be broken.
Can't be broken?
Wild horses, Heracles. Killers. Cannibal horses. With teeth so sharp and fast they can slice a man to ribbons.
To hear you tell it, they sound like tigers, not a team of horses.
You should see their mangers, caked with human blood.
So Diomedes bred these pretties, did he? And who does Diomedes claim to be? Who bred him?
His father was the war god Ares, or so he boasts. He commands as king the golden cavalry of Thrace.
Ares' son, is he? Well, there you have the story of my labors and my life. It's a fierce, hard road I'm doomed to travel, friend, rough uphill all the way. One after another, I've had to fight every bastard son the war god ever had. First it was Lycion, then Sicnos, and now this confrontation with the master of this pack of killer horses. But no man on earth has ever seen the son of Alcmene flinch from a fight. No one ever will.
Here comes King Admetus now to welcome you in person.
Welcome, Heracles, son of Zeus. Welcome to my house.
Heaven smile on you and yours, Admetus.
If only it had. But thank you, Heracles. I know you mean well.
Why is your hair cut? You are in mourning.
There's been a death in my house, Heracles. The funeral is today.
I hope nothing has happened to your children.
No, thanks be to heaven, my children are alive and well.
Your father, then? If so, he lived a long, full life, Admetus.
My father is well. My mother, too.
Not Alcestis. Surely not Alcestis.
Yes. No.
What in God's name are you saying, Admetus? Is she alive or is she dead? Which?
Both. Both. I am in agony, Heracles.
Alive and dead, but these are riddles, Admetus. Make sense.
You know that she was doomed to die.
I know she promised to take your place below.
Knowing what she promised, knowing she is doomed, how can I think of her as still alive?
Wait until she dies, Admetus. Don't mourn her yet.
Those who are doomed are as good as dead, and the dead are nothing.
There is a difference between life and death. Or so men think, Admetus.
That is your opinion, Heracles, not mine.
Well, then why are you in mourning? Clearly someone has died, someone you loved, Admetus. Who?
A woman, Heracles. A woman has died.
Was she related to you?
Not by blood, but there were bonds. The attachment was strong. We loved her very much.
Why was she living here?
After her father's death, she was left an orphan. We took her in.
Oh, I am sorry for you, Admetus. I have come at a bad time, it seems.
What are you doing, Heracles?
Leaving Admetus. I have other friends in these parts. I'll stay with them.
Impossible, my lord. I won't have it. I won't hear of it.
Your house is in mourning. A guest would only be a burden.
The dead are dead. I insist. You must stay.
It wouldn't be right, Admetus. This is a time for mourning, not entertaining friends. You cannot do both at once.
The guest rooms are separate. I'll put you there.
Look, let me go to someone else, Admetus. Please, I ask it as a favor.
Impossible. You must stay. You there. Take our guest inside. Be generous and shut the doors on the courtyard. I do not want our friend to be disturbed at dinner by the sounds of mourning.
Are you mad, Admetus? Your wife not dead an hour, and you can bear the thought of entertaining guests?
This man is my friend. What would your answer be if I turned my friend away from my home and city? That I deserved your admiration? Surely not. And what would I gain? My wife would still be dead. My loss would be exactly what it is, neither more nor less, but I would lose a friend. I have pain enough without the pain of having my house called inhospitable and rude. I am his host. He is my friend and guest. His hospitality to me is lavish, unsurpassed in generosity and love when I stay with him in Argos. And Argos is a thirsty place.
Your friend, you say. Then why conceal your sorrow from your friend?
If he suspected what had happened here, I do not think he would have stayed. Some, I know, will shake their heads and say that what I did was wrong. But this house of mine has yet to learn discourtesy to guests or less than due regard for those with claims upon my honor and my love.
Hospitality is here. What house could be more gracious or more generous than this? Open-handed, always prodigal and free, its master gives such lavish welcoming that one might think his guests were gods. Great gods have sheltered here. Here Apollo, god of Delphi, condescending came, his high divinity constrained to serve as shepherd for a year. And down these blessed hills, to mating flocks, the god of music sang the season's song. O Hymen, Hymenaeus, O.
So powerful Apollo's song that spotted lynxes crouching in the mountain rocks were drawn by joy, no longer wild, to stray like browsing sheep beside the shepherd god. And here, compelled from Orthris' shaggy glens, the golden lions came. Bright god, so sweet your clarity of song, the fawn came shivering from the darkened wood, and there, beside the forest edge, shyly stepping from the arbor of the pines, the strong light caught her, dappled on delicate legs, dancing as Apollo sang, O Hymen, Hymenaeus, O.
Your guest was God, Admetos, and so by grace your house is now beyond all mortal houses, blessed in wealth of flocks beside the clear blue waters of Bebeus. Westward, mile on mile, across the greening plain, your tilth and pastures range to far Molossus, where the Lord of Light drops down to ford his horses in the Adriatic night. And eastward too your kingdom goes, across the peaks where Pelion takes its headlong plunge, harbourless and sheer, down to the green Aegean. Admetos, all this blessed land is yours by grace of God.
And now, again, this gracious man has opened wide the doors and welcomed in this house another guest, another, even though his wife he loved was newly dead, and the agony of grief lay freshly on him. Noble man! His courtesy and grace exceed all human scale. But who can say? Greatness of soul is all that human wisdom knows. All philosophy is in it. I stand in awe, Admetos. And somehow I have faith, a growing hope, that for this noble, heaven-minded man, all by grace of God may still be well.
My friends, I appreciate your kindness and support. Thank you for remaining. The funeral is ready now. My men are bringing out her coffin. Before we take her body to the grave, I would like you, friends, to speak the customary words, the last farewell. We shall not see her in this life again.
Wait, Admetos. I see your father Pheres on his way, and servants with him, bringing gifts to offer to the gods below.
Son, I have come to help you bear the burden of your grief. You have lost a good wife, a decent, loving, humble wife. A hard and bitter loss, but bear it you must. Accept these tokens of my respect, and let her take them with her to the well below. We must honor her in death, as she deserves. She gave her life to let you keep the light. No, she would not let this poor old man drag out his dying years deprived of all he had, his one and only son. And by her bravery in death, she has been a credit know a glory to her sex. Lady, rest in peace. By your courage, you have been the savior of my son. Your generosity restored the fortunes of my broken house when it was down. Alcestis, fare you well, even in the world below, and rest in peace. Mark my words, son. Marriage is for most of us a losing proposition. But this wife of yours was pure gold and no mistake. And gold is what I give her now.
Who asked you to come? Who invited you? Not I. Not her. Love? What love? Your love's a lie. All words. So keep your gold. She'll never wear your trinket, love. She'll be buried as she is, without your gifts or you. Leave. Who needs you anyway? Who needs you now? You came, you say, to bring me sympathy and help. The time for you to help was when I had to die, or find a substitute. Where were you then? Vanished. Nowhere. Like your love. You disappeared and let another take your place in death. You were old, and she was young. And now you have the gall to come here with your mock sorrow and your hypocrisy of love. Where was your love when I needed you? Why, for all you cared, I might have been some slave bastard, smuggled in the house and set to suckle at the breast of that barren bitch who calls herself my mother. No. When courage was required, when dying was the issue and the test, you showed us what you really are. Not my father, but a cheap coward.
No.
God, is there any coward in this world like you? There you were, a withered bag of bones, tottering into eternity, but still you wouldn't die. Not you. You didn't dare to die, so you let a woman, no blood of yours, do your duty for you. To her, and her alone, I owe the tenderness and love I would have lavished on my parents in their age, had they loved me like a son. If I were you, I would have fought, yes, fought for the privilege of dying for my son. Besides, your time was short, a few brief years at best, so what had you to lose? Every happiness a man could have you had. You inherited a kingdom when you were still a boy. You had a son, so your succession was secure, and you could die in peace, knowing there would be no rival claimants for your throne, no wars. You cannot say that you abandoned me because of neglect. I showed you all the honor a son could give. I was always good to you in your old age, and how have you repaid my love? You would have let me die. Well, now your time is running out, old man, so hurry. Use what little time you've got to breed another son to care for you in your old age and stuff you in the ground. So help me, gods. I will never lift a hand to bury you. You refuse to lift a finger for my life. I disown you both. If I still live and see the light, everything I might have owed to you as son, I pledge to her who gave me life. Gods, how I hate them, all these aging hypocrites tottering around, telling you how much they want to die, stuffed with self-pity, whining about old age and its indignities, their long, slow, crawling passage to the grave. But let them get the slightest glimpse of death, and suddenly they stick like leeches to the light and tell you life is not so bad.
Stop it, both of you. Haven't you sorrows enough without this, too? Boy, why must you exasperate your father?
Boy, who in God's name do you think you are? Are you my master now, and I some poor, bought, cringing, Asiatic slave? That you dare dress me down like this? I am a free man, Thessalian born, a prince of Thessaly. And I will not be bullied by the likes of you, arrogant boy. Now hear me out. Don't think you pelt me, boy, with your abuse and then just turn your back. Damn you, boy. I made you lord and master of this house and mine. I gave you life. I raised you. I am not obliged to die for you as well. Or do you think my father died for me? There is no law, no precedent in Greece that children have a claim upon their fathers' lives. A man is born to happiness or otherwise. He's born for himself. Everything you had the right to get from me, you got. I made you ruler of a rich and populous country. And I intend to leave you all the vast domain my father left to me. So how have I hurt you? What more do I owe you? Life? No. You live yours and I'll live mine. Do your own dying. I'll do mine. You love the light. What makes you think your father doesn't love it too? The time we spend beneath the earth, I think, is very long. And life is short, but what there is of it is good. Good and sweet. As for fighting, boy, you fought all right. You fought like hell to live. Life at any price beyond your destined time. You only live because you took her life. You murdered her. And you dare talk about my cowardice. You who let a woman outdo you in bravery, let her give her life to keep her little boy alive. But you're clever, I admit. Immortality is yours for the asking. All you have to do is wheedle your latest wife into dying in your place. And then, like the cheap coward that you are, you accuse the rest of us of failing in our duty.
Listen!
You listen, boy. Remember this. You love your life. Well, so does every man alive. And if you call us names for that, worse things will be said of you. They won't be pretty, and they'll all be true.
There have been too many ugly words, too much abuse already. Old man, stop provoking your son.
Let him talk, and then I'll have my say. You see? The truth hurts. Your cowardice was your mistake. You didn't dare to die.
That was no mistake. The mistake would have been dying for you.
Dying young is not the same as dying old.
One life is all we have, not two.
The way you clutch at that one life of yours, you'll outlive Zeus.
Have I hurt you that you should hate me so?
Old age has made you greedy. Greedy to live.
Greedy? Am I? Who killed that girl whose corpse you're burying? And you talk to me of greed.
It was your cowardice that killed her.
You took her life. You killed her.
Oh, gods. I hope I live to see the day when you come crawling to me for help.
That's your style, not mine. Find some woman to help you live. Marry her. And let her die.
Your fault. You wouldn't die.
No, I wouldn't. This God's light is sweet, I tell you. Sweet.
You cheap coward. You don't deserve to live.
Go bury your dead. Whether you like it or not, I'm still alive. You won't gloat over my dead body. Not today, boy.
Don't expect the world to praise you when you die. If you ever do.
What the hell do I care what people say of me after I'm dead?
Gods, what shabby, shameless cowards these old men are.
Now, she wasn't shabby, was she? No. She was brave. Brave enough, stupid enough, to die for you.
Leave. Let me bury my dead.
I'm leaving. Let the murderer bury his victim in peace.
Go! And be damned to you! You and that woman I used to call my mother. You have no son! Grow old, both of you, as you deserve. Childless, heirless, alone. Never let me see you in this house again. So help me God, if I had heralds here to proclaim that I disown you both and ban you from my house, I'd do it! Now, friends, let us perform our sad task and take Alcestis' body to the grave.
Let Hermes of the unseen world receive his honored guest, and the Dark Lord welcome you below as your nobility and love deserve. For if the good fare best, and courage has its due, even in that pale democracy below, the Queen herself of all the dead will rise in homage seeing you, Alcestis. No braver mortal ever lived.
I've seen a lot of strangers in my time, guests traipsing in here from all over the world, and we put 'em all up, bed 'em, and feed 'em food. But this Heracles is the worst damn guest this house and I've ever seen. Right away, anyone could have seen that Metis was in mourning. So what does this dull clod do? Barges in, big as life and bold as brass. I mean, any man with a grain of decency or ordinary common sense would have seen Admetus was in trouble and accepted what we had to give without a lot of noise and fuss. But not this fella. Oh, dear, no. If we don't fetch him what he wants, he yells at us to shake a leg. Hurry up, he bellows. Damn it, move! Then he picks up a great big wooden bowl of wine, both hands at once, just like a peasant, and swills it down, straight, unwatered, strong and reddish-black like the ground that grew it. Well, before you could say Dionysus, he was heated up, half-crocked, high as a kite. Then he slaps a wreath of myrtle on his head and starts in murdering some bawdy song. Oh, listen! There he was, roaring away over his supper without a thought for poor Admetus and his troubles. And there we were, mourning for our mistress, and what with the maids wailing and beating their breasts. Well, you've never heard such a bloody medley in all your days. And, of course, we couldn't tell him we were mourning because King Admetus had given orders forbidding it. Anyway, here I am left behind at home to entertain this so-called guest. Though if you ask me, burglar or highwayman or just plain pirate is closer to the mark. Meanwhile, they've taken Our Lady to the grave, and I didn't get to follow her body or hold out my hand and say goodbye to her the way I wanted. Because she was good to us all, a good, kind mistress. More like a mother than a mistress, always calming the master down when he went off in one of his fits of rage. Anyway, that's why I hate the sight of this guest who came barging in on our troubles. Guest or no guest, I detest the man, and God knows I've got the right to hate him.
Hey, you there! Yeah, I mean you with that big frown on your face. What's your problem, sourpuss? Butlers ought to be polite. Service with a smile. None of those killjoy looks either. There I am, your master's best friend, and all you can do is glower at me with that damn miserable mug. And why? Because someone you barely knew dropped dead. Dead. Come here, fellow, and I'll let you in on a little secret. Make a better man of you. I mean, face facts. We all have got to die. You know what it's like to be a man? I mean,
Do you really understand the human condition, my friend? I can see you don't. How could you, with a face like that? Well, listen, mister. We've all got to die, and that's a fact. There's not a man alive who knows the odds on death. Here today, gone tomorrow. Poof! That's fate, the mystery. I mean, there's just no knowing. Men can't fathom it. Well, that's my message. So what do you say? Cheer up and have a little drink, eh? Live for the day. Today is ours. Tomorrow's fate. Oh, and there's something else, yes. Aphrodite. Don't forget Aphrodite, friend, because that's a good little goddess. There's no one sweeter than Aphrodite. Take my advice, fellow, and forget your troubles. Well, what do you say? Am I talking sense? Damn right I am. So, forget whatever it is that's making you so damn glum. Come on, man, and have a drink. Drown your troubles. Here, put these flowers on your head. And bottoms up. Oh. Now, listen. You hear that wine purring and gurgling in the cup? Well, a swallow of this will do wonders, friend, for whatever's ailing you. I mean, we've all got to die, right? Well, that's why we've got to think human thoughts and live while we can. Eat, drink, and be merry. Take it from me. The way those gloomy, belly-aching tragedians gripe, life isn't life at all. It's just a bloody funeral.
Quite, sir. I understand. But, sir, this happens to be a house of mourning. Your drunken revelry is grossly out of place, sir.
Well, is that so? Well, just because a woman's dead, stranger to her here? Well, of course it's sad, but what's the tragedy? Well, look, the family's alive and well.
Alive and well? You mean you still don't know what happened here?
Of course I know. Admetus told me when I came. Wait, hey. Are you saying that Admetus lied to me?
You know the master, sir. He is hospitable to a fault. Sometimes his kindness goes too far.
I know his kindness well. Is that the reason I must go without my supper, because of some dead stranger?
Stranger, you say? Oh, sir, what stranger could ever be as close as she?
What has happened here? What is Admetus hiding from me?
Oh, sir, let it be. She belonged to us. Go, and let us mourn our dead in peace.
So it wasn't a stranger who died?
If it were, nobody would have minded your getting drunk.
Then Admetus lied to me, deceived his friend.
Sir, you couldn't have come at a worse time. This is a house of mourning. Our hair is shorn. We're dressed in black. You can see for yourself.
Who died then? One of the children? Old Theres? Who?
Admetus, queen, sir. Alcestis. Alcestis is dead.
Alcestis dead? And you were entertaining me when she lay dead?
Sir, Admetus honors you. He could not bear the thought of turning you away.
What husband never lost a wife like this? Oh, Alcestis. Alcestis.
When she died, sir, it seemed as though the whole house, every one of us, died with her.
Oh, I knew it. Oh, I knew it. When I saw his face all red with weeping and his hair shorn and the bitter anguish in his eyes. And like a bloody fool, I believed his story that he was burying some stranger. A stranger! Oh. And then he made me enter, forced me to come in against my will and accept the welcome of this house. And then, while he was suffering, mourning his wife, there I was, his dearest friend. Oh, gods! Feasting and carousing like some stupid, drunken clod, reading my head with these damn flowers! And you let me do it! The whole house was throbbing with sorrow, and you never said a word. Where is the funeral being held? Where can I find Admetos?
Go straight that way, on the road to Larissa, just outside the wall, so you'll see the place. A tomb of polished marble.
Now, Heracles, your great ordeal begins. Come, O my tough spirit, you hard, enduring hands, calloused with my many labors, come and prove what man I am. Prove me, Heracles, the hero son my mortal mother bore to Zeus Almighty. Alcestis is dead, and I must bring her back to the fields of light, home, safe to Admetos' arms, and so discharge my debt of gratitude and love. Admetos' love to me was great, and it deserves, and it will get, no ordinary kindness in return. Soon, I think, the god of death, those black wings beating overhead, will come swooping down and settle by the grave to drink the sacrificial blood. I'll lie in ambush there beside the tomb, and when the Dark Lord comes, I'll break from hiding, seize him with my arms, and clamp him in a hold so hard he cannot break it, god though he is. Let him struggle. I'll crush him in my mortal grip until he does my will and lets Alcestis go. But if death fails to come, if the blood stays there untasted on the ground, I'll go beneath the earth, down to the unseen world below, confront the god of hell and his Persephone, and demand Alcestis back. Make no mistake, I'll force my way below and bring Alcestis home and consign her to Admetos' care, for he deserves this thanks from me. His house was overwhelmed with grief, but even so, he took me in, he made me welcome here. Kind and noble to a fault, he hid his loss to do me honor as a friend. Where in all Thessaly, where in all the world could I find a friend as generous as this? I could not do it. And it will not be said of me that this good and noble man conferred his kindness on a friend unworthy of his love.
Loss. Going in or coming out. Oh, walls of pain. I cannot leave, cannot stay. Hurt has no words. Hurt will not be still. Oh, let me die. Better never have been born. I envy the dead. The dead are beautiful. Not here, my home. Down, down my home is with the dead. I hate the light. I hate this earth. Oh, earth, come over me and let me die. So lovely is the hostage that I gave to death. My life is all below.
Take your grief inside, Admetos. Hide from the light.
You have cause for grief.
You have suffered, heaven knows.
But grief will never bring her back.
The truth is hard.
Accept it, Admetos.
You will not see her in this life again.
Good friends,
The wound is fresh, and you have opened it again. Better by far it would have been if we had never married, she and I, never loved, never lived here in this house together. How I envy them, those men who never marry, men who have no children, who live for themselves alone. Then each would have one life to live. That pain would be his, nothing more. He does not live to see his children sicken, his wife dying in childbirth. Who that had a heart to love would choose such pain if he could live alone and never know how much he had to lose?
It had to be. We cannot choose our fate.
A man can fight, but not with life, not with death.
Accept it like a man.
Hard, I know.
Be brave, Admetos.
Courage. Others, too, have lost their wives.
Some soon, some late. Every man is carved by suffering or fate.
Now it is your turn.
This sorrow lasts forever. There is no end to pain when those we love go into that eternal night beneath the earth. Why, in the name of heaven, friends, did you stop me when I tried to die with her? There in the grave, she and I, we could have been together always. Always. And then the Lord of Death would have us both. 2 lives instead of 1. Loyal in love, we would have crossed that dead water together.
Admetos, a friend of mine once lost his son, a fine young boy of exceptional promise, and an only child. His father was an old man, white with age, and in the last years of his life. But he bore his loss with dignity, as bravely as he could.
This house, how can I call it home? How can I go in remembering how happy I once was here, and how of all that happiness nothing now is left? Then and now, a gulf so great it seems 2 wholly different, unconnected worlds. I remember then. It was dusk on our wedding day. All around us the pine torches were blazing, and she and I were coming home, to bed, escorted by a noisy crowd of happy friends and guests, singing and dancing. I remember how they congratulated me, how they wished Alcestis happiness and long life. Oh, my dead Alcestis. In our marriage, they told us, high nobilities on either side had merged and met. And now the only song is the cry of mourning, and the friends who bring me home wear black instead of white, and the bed is there. The bed is there. I sleep alone.
Your fortune had been good, Admetos. High happiness and great wealth, both were yours. So when this sorrow struck so suddenly, it found you unprepared. Suffering was something you had never known. Still, your life is yours. You still have wealth. True, you have lost your wife and the comfort of her love. So have other men. Is it so strange, really, that human marriages should end in this divorce of death?
Dear friends, strange as it may seem, I think my wife in death is happier than I am now. No pain, no hurt will touch her any more. She rests in peace, free at last from all the endless agony of life. And fame is hers, forever. As for me, I should not be alive. I should be dead. The life I have is not worth living. I know it now. Too late. How can I bear to go on living in this house? What happiness is there in coming home? Home to this dead house, with its sound of absence, its echo of a voice that greeted me when I came home, and now, nothing. Nothing but this dead silence. When I go in, the emptiness inside will drive me out. The empty rooms, the empty bed, the chair she used to sit on, and the shining floor all dark with dust, and the children sobbing, huddling at my knees wherever I go, crying for their mother. The servants mourning their dead mistress, remembering a gentle presence that my house has lost forever. I cannot stay here. But in the city I will see my married friends, friends with wives, the girls and women thronging to their festivals and dances. The very sight of it would drive me home. All Alcestis' friends, the girls she used to know, I could not bear to see them now. Not now. And I have enemies. Behind my back they'll point me out, whispering, look, there. Look at Admetos, a man who was afraid of death. A coward who let his wife go down to Hades in his place. Do you call that a man? What kind of man would curse his father and mother because he was afraid of dying? Who but a coward? Friends, you say my life is still mine. But what's the good of living when everything I valued in this world is gone? When I have lost my honor with my wife?
Necessity is stone. Call her death, compulsion, fate. Against what man her cruelty comes, that man is doomed. If poets know, if scholars speak the truth, nothing is stronger, nothing more resistless is. O man, against her hard, relentless coming on, all your craft and intellect are weak. There is no power in your spells and Orphic songs, no virtue in your herbs, your healing lore. Nothing, nothing can resist her coming on. Only patience. Suffer and submit.
Necessity is stone, implacable. She has no face but rock, no human shape or likeness owns, no cult nor shrine. She heeds no sacrifice. She is force and flint, no feeling has, no pity, none.
Mistress, lady without mercy, I have felt your stroke before. May you never come again. Only by your hard strength the will of Zeus is done. By sheer force you break the iron of the Calibes. Your will is granite, cruel. Nothing helps, only patience. Suffer and submit.
Admetos, now this goddess holds you in the bitter bondage of her grip. Bear it. Be brave. Though you should mourn Alcestis always, you cannot bring the dead to life. Great heroes die. Even the sons of heaven fade, darkened into death, though they were dear, dear as life to the grieving gods. Alive, Alcestis had our love. Love will be her portion in the world below, for she was brave. To her, Admetos, you were bound by bonds of love. Then will you be less brave?
Glory is her right, Admetos. Do not let Alcestis' grave be numbered among the ordinary dead. Make her grave a shrine. Honor it as men would honor gods, a holy place beside the road where those who journey kneel and pray. The traveller will see her grave and turning off will say of her, she gave her life to save another. She is a blessed spirit now, and so may also bless. In homage, men will kneel before her grave and pray,
Hail, Lady, Mistress of Mercy, by your bravery and love, bless us and be gracious.
Admetus, look up. Heracles is returned to us, and with him, strange and silent, a lady darkly veiled.
Admetus, when a man is angry with his friend, he should speak his mind frankly and freely, not keep his feelings smoldering inside. As your friend, I thought I had the right to stand beside you in your hour of need and prove my loyalty. But you misled me. You deliberately concealed the truth. Instead of telling me Alcestis was dead, you let me think that you were burying a stranger. Then you made me welcome in your unhappy house. You gave me food and drink, as though nothing had happened here, nothing at all. There you were, in mourning for your wife, while I, like a clod, was wreathing my head with flowers, pouring long libations to the happy gods, getting drunk. Drunk. At a time like this. But how was I to know? It was wrong of you, Admetus, wrong, I tell you, to treat a friend this way. But let it pass. You have sorrows enough, old friend. Listen, I have a reason for returning. You see this woman? Do me a favor, keep her here for me, in your care, until I finish with my mission in Thrace. I will come for her on my return after I have killed Diomedes and captured his horses. But if I don't come back, heaven avert the omen, then keep the girl as a servant in your house, my gift to you. And no small gift either. This woman wasn't easily won, Admetus.
Where did you win her, Heracles?
Not far from your house. I happened to pass by a place where athletic games were being held. Contests open to all comers, and the prizes offered were very tempting. Well, in a word, I entered the contest, and I won the prize. This woman, here. The winners in the minor events won horses, but in boxing and wrestling, the prizes were oxen. And they threw in the girl as a bonus. Well, as luck would have it, there I was. And it seemed a shame to lose such a splendid prize. So, here she is. Now, as I said, Admetus, I'd like you to keep her. Take care of her. She's worth it. And she's not stolen either, if that's what you're thinking. I won her fair and square in a damned hard fight. Someday, Admetus, you may be glad I did.
Heracles, my reason for concealing my wife's death from you was neither disrespect nor lack of love. God knows, I had troubles enough without driving you away to look for shelter somewhere else. Alcestis' death is mine to mourn. Mine alone. My sorrow is enough. As for this woman here, I beg you, my lord, if you can somehow manage it, please take her somewhere else. Give her to some friend who is not mourning. Tell him to keep her. You have many friends in Phery. But please, please don't remind me of my loss. Seeing this woman here in Alcestis' house, day in, day out, would be much more than I could bear. I am crushed with sorrow as it is, Heracles. Do not burden me with more. What can I do? Put her in Alcestis' room? Take her to Alcestis' bed? I can hear the gossip now. People in the city saying I ran to some other woman's bed and betrayed the wife who died to save me. Worse, I can hear Alcestis' voice reproaching me from the underworld. And where Alcestis is concerned, I cannot be too scrupulous. She and she alone deserves my love. Woman, whoever you are, I tell you this. You look like my Alcestis. So much like her. The same figure. The same height. You are beautiful, too.
Heracles, for God's sake, take this woman away out of my sight. I am weak now. Do not make my weakness worse. Oh, looking at this girl, I seem to see my lost Alcestis. And my heart starts churning, and the tears... Oh, gods in heaven, now, for the first time I know the anguish of my life.
Sorrow. There is nothing more to say. It does not matter who or what we are. The gods do with us what they will. We must bear it.
If only I had the strength, Admetos, to bring your wife back from the world below, back to the light, I would have done it.
I know, but why speak of it? The dead are dead. They never come back. Never.
Control yourself. Bear it like a man.
Bear it like a man. Easier said than done, Heracles.
Suppose you mourned her all your life, Admetos. What good would it do?
No good at all. I mourn because I must. I loved her.
I know. Nothing hurts like losing those we love.
I lost myself when I lost her. Lost myself. And so much more.
She was a beautiful woman, worthy of your love.
I loved her so much, I do not want to live.
Your loss is still fresh. Time will dull the pain.
If time is death, death will dull it.
A new wife, a new bride will help you to forget, Admetos.
Silence, Heracles, not another word. How could you suggest such a thing?
No woman, ever.
No woman will ever share my bed again.
Alcestis is dead. How does this help her?
Wherever Alcestis is, she deserves my honor. I owe it to her.
And I respect your feelings. There are some, of course, who would call you foolish.
Let them call me anything they want, anything but bridegroom.
I admire you, Admetos. You are loyal in love.
She is dead, but I would rather die than betray her love.
Nobly spoken, my good Admetos. Well, then. Make this woman welcome in your generous house.
By your father's Zeus, I beg you, please, no. Anything but that.
You will be making a mistake if you say no.
I would never forgive myself if I said yes.
Obey, Admetos. Let me have it my way. The courtesy you show this girl may serve you in your time of need.
Oh, gods, how I wish you'd never won her in those games of yours.
Friends share and share alike. When I am winner, you are winner too, Admetos.
Splendid, Heracles. Then make this woman leave immediately.
If she must. But look at her first, Admetos. See if she should go.
She must go. You won't be angry with me, will you, Heracles?
I have my reasons for insisting, Admetos.
I surrender. You win, but I disapprove. Your insistence displeases me.
You may forgive me soon. Humor me for now.
If I must, I must. Servants, take this woman inside.
Slaves, no, I will not surrender this girl to slaves.
Then take her in yourself.
No, she is yours, Admetos. I will not give this woman to anyone but you.
And I refuse to touch that woman's hand. Let her go inside by herself.
No, Admetos. I have faith in your right hand and yours alone.
My lord, I protest you are forcing me against my wish.
Courage, Admetos. Welcome your guest. Here, reach out your hand. Now, take her hand in yours.
Here is my hand.
Good gods, man, the way you act, you'd think she was some gorgon to turn you to stone. There you have her.
I do.
Then keep her, Admetos. She is yours to have and to hold. Some day, Admetos, you will know your kindness was not wasted on the son of Zeus, your good friend and grateful guest. Now, Admetos, look at her. Doesn't she look a little like your own lost Alcestis? Rejoice, old friend. Be happy. Your day of mourning is over.
Is it you? You, Alcestis, is it really you? Or is this just some mockery, some sweet illusion sent me by the gods?
No mockery, Admetus, but your own wife in flesh and blood, your own lost Alcestis.
How do I know this is not some ghost from the underworld?
I'm your friend, Admetus, not some vulgar trafficker in sorcery and ghosts.
But I buried her today. How can this be? Is it really Alcestis?
The very same Alcestis. I'm not surprised you find it strange.
Can I touch her? Speak to her? Can she breathe? Does she feel and hear?
Speak to her, Admetus. You have what you wanted. You have it all. Take it.
Alcestis. Oh, Alcestis, eyes I love. Oh, sweetest face. Those dear hands I never thought to hold again. You are mine. So incredibly mine. Again. Again.
Again, Admetus. And may no jealous god envy you your happiness.
Oh, my noblest, kindest friend, dear son of great Zeus, may heaven bless you. May the great God who fathered you guard you and keep you safe, as you saved me, you alone, and gave me back my life. But tell me, how did you bring Alcestis back to light?
I fought with the god who had her in his power.
Death? Where did you find the god?
Beside the grave. I took him by surprise, then threw him to the ground.
But why is Alcestis so still? Why can't she speak?
Until 3 days have passed, and the bitter stain of death has disappeared. She is forbidden to speak. Now, Admetus, take her in. And in the future, treat your guests and those you love as they deserve. And so, goodbye. My master, Euripides, is waiting in Argos, and I have labors to perform.
Stay with us, Heracles. My house is yours.
Another time, Admetus. I have work to do. Work that cannot wait.
Success go with you, friend. But when your work is done, come back and be our guest. To all my subjects and fellow citizens, I here and now proclaim a feast of thanks and praise to celebrate the happiness of this great event. Let the high altars blaze and smoke with sacrifice. From this day forth, we must remake our lives and make them better than they were before. Happiness is mine, and now I know it.
The gods have many forms.
The gods bring many things to their accomplishment.
And what was most expected has not been accomplished.
But God has found his way for what no man expected.
So ends the play.
That was Alcestis by Euripides, in a translation by William Arrowsmith. Alison Fisk played Alcestis, and Roger Allam Admetus. Stuart Roger was Heracles, and Peter Howell Pheres. The old servant was Michael Graham Cox, the maid Caroline Gruber. Apollo, Michael Tudor Barnes, and Death, Philip Sully. The chorus leader was Christopher Scott, and the other chorus members Maggie McCarthy, Jane Knowles, and Zela Clark. The music was composed by Harvey Brough and Jeremy Taylor, and played by Harvey Brough, Jeremy Taylor, and Rex Brough. The play was directed by Penny Gold.